Okay, this will be an interesting one. It's going to be a challenging one. It looks pretty wishy-washy as an original. Hasn't got much colour in it. Don't know how big we're going to make this. Going to keep it at 100. Wonder what background colour for this, if it's going to work. We're going to go with magenta. We're going here as usual, going all the way cold. Right, let's see what we can do with this. It's rather bland looking original. This is Asaki Life, styled by Suzanne. Okay, Suzanne. Yeah, they've been around for decades. They had a really interesting piece of music that they had. Oh, I found something else I was going to demo. I'm trying to decide which one I'm going to demo with. I think I'm going to leave Suzanne for another day. I might go and concentrate on this Chinese yoga thingamajig. So we're going to have to make it fairly large. So we're going to focus mainly on the picture as much as we can. But basically, yeah, yoga. What an interesting thing that people take up to in the hope that they alleviate stress, or they can get fit or more flexible. Maybe in an attempt to stave off old age. I don't believe in it myself. I've got no faith in it. It's not my thing. But basically a lot of people get into it and they seem to find some kind of help from it. I don't believe in it myself. I don't follow it. I don't like it. The word yoga sounds like a soft word. It sounds like soft and mushy and not very intelligent. You lose your brains when you're doing yoga, it feels. It just feels that way. I don't know why I think of it like that. Why I think it's like a mushy sort of an activity for the brain or for the soul. It just doesn't agree with me. Like a lot of spiritualist things, it just doesn't agree with me. But I do believe in certain spiritual activities or beliefs, but I'm not going to go into it. This is not a discussion on religion or faith or whatever. It's not a discussion on this. This is a demo that I'm doing. Now that looks quite interesting. I don't know whether I like it. It's really strange. It's an interesting piece I've just cut out. So I wonder if we're going to use this or if we're going to go back and do another one. So I'm thinking now, I don't like the colours in it, but anyway, I just don't like yoga. It's not my thing. I've never been interested in it. A lot of people love it. They seem to think it helps make them better and that. It's not my cup of tea, I must admit. I'm going to try and enlarge that off the edge. So now I'm just going to overlap. I'm just going to enlarge it on the vertical. So now I'm just going to overlap it here. And we're just going to enlarge it vertically, and we're probably going to knock off a fair amount. So I'm wondering if that's how we're going to do it. But yeah, it's not my thing, yoga. It's just not my thing. A lot of people like it. They seem to think it works, but there's a lot of things that, I'm very skeptical about shit like that. Now we're just going to put it on 140, and we're just going to go, and we just got to change the colours around a bit. So I'm wondering if we're going to turn that off. Get rid of the magenta. We're just going to do some work on this. Maybe the red's going to stay, but the hue, we're going to leave the hue there for some reason. Let's see if this works. But yeah, it's not my thing. It's a nice picture, I must admit. A lovely ocean, a lovely beach scene. But you'll never get me taking up yoga. Whoa, that looks interesting. It's nice and hot. It looks a bit ill-defined. I'm wondering if we're going to keep it like that. Whether we're going to make this... If we're going to... It's a tough one. I'm trying to think which part's going to be the centre of this picture. So I'm thinking maybe there, even though the borders look quite large. I'm wondering if we're going to improve on this, or if we're going to just print it off. Okay, so it's a hard one to choose which way we're going to make the centre. We're probably going to make that the centre of our composition. It's a strange looking composition, I must admit. It's a bit eerie, the colours and the shapes. I wonder if this is what goes through the mind of someone who's doing yoga. If they have all sorts of strange things happening, like colours and shapes and smells and stuff like that. If they maybe have some kind of hallucination or some kind of high. I don't know. I don't know why people do it. So many people do it. I see so many people walking around with their yoga mats, getting ready for maybe a bit of pre-work yoga. It's meant to bust the stress of work, and work is a very stressful environment these days. So basically people are looking for ways of managing stress, and yoga is one of the many ways that people somehow manage to deal with the stress of the absolutely horrible workplace cultures that we have these days, these really nasty bullies and fucking tight deadlines and heaps of people wanting to work or do more work, so much competition, you could lose your job any day. There's so many people wanting to work, so many unemployed and underemployed people, so the workplace has become a dog-eat-dog sort of a place, so you try your best to hang in there and survive. And yoga is one way, I think I'm right, that people in today's stressful workplace somehow use this to cope, as a coping mechanism. For me it wouldn't work, but it seems to help a lot of people for some reason. Somehow they believe this shit actually works, but I'm skeptical.